What if some places on Earth are not meant to be crossed, but meant to warn us? What if the ships and planes that vanished were not lost by accident, but guided by destiny? And what if the Bermuda Triangle is not about death at all, but about a truth humanity was never ready to face? For centuries, the Bermuda Triangle has scared sailors, pilots, and scientists. Ships sailed into calm waters and never returned. Planes flew under clear skies and vanished without a sound. No storm, no warning, no final message. Even today, modern radar, GPS, and satellites sometimes fail in this region. This mystery has created fear, stories of angry gods, sea spirits, broken time, and a lost underwater world called Atlantis. But beyond the fear, there is something deeper hiding in these legends, a message about destiny, human limits, and the unseen rules of life. In our daily lives, many of us face our own Bermuda Triangles. We work hard, plan carefully, and still feel lost. Careers suddenly collapse, relationships break without clear reasons, dreams fade even when effort is strong. Just like ships losing direction at sea, people lose direction inside. Science tells us that the human mind fears uncertainty more than pain itself. That fear pushes us to stay safe, silent, and small, even when our hearts want more. The myths of the Bermuda Triangle reflect this inner struggle perfectly. This story is not here to scare you. It is here to help you understand. Through ancient legends, real-world problems, and simple life lessons, we will explore what destiny truly means, why fear appears before growth, and how silence can guide us better than noise. If you stay until the end, you may begin to see your own struggles in a new light and understand why some paths disappear so others can appear. If this journey speaks to your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us bring more meaningful stories like this to you. Stay with us, because what you are about to hear may change how you see destiny forever. For thousands of years, the Bermuda Triangle has lived in human memory as a place of fear, silence, and unanswered questions. Ancient sailors spoke of waters that looked calm, but felt wrong, as if the sea itself was watching. Long before modern maps and engines, people believed this area was guarded by unseen forces, gods who protected sacred knowledge and boundaries that humans were not meant to cross without respect. These stories were not only about the ocean. They were early attempts to explain fear of the unknown, a fear that still shapes human destiny today. Even now, studies show that the human brain reacts strongly to uncertainty. When we do not know what will happen next, stress levels rise, judgment weakens, and fear takes control. This is why many ships avoided the Bermuda Triangle even when it offered a shorter route. Safety felt more important than progress. In the same way, many people avoid life choices that feel unclear. They stay in jobs they dislike, remain in relationships that hurt, or delay dreams because the future feels uncertain. Fear becomes a silent ruler, guiding decisions more than logic or passion. The legends of the Bermuda Triangle remind us that fear often grows in silence. When radios went quiet and compasses failed, panic spread among sailors. Without guidance, imagination filled the gaps with danger. In human life, the same thing happens. When answers do not come quickly, the mind creates worst-case stories. We assume failure before it happens. We expect loss before it arrives. Psychology explains this as a survival habit, but destiny uses it as a test. Fear appears to see whether we will stop or continue. The deeper lesson hidden in these myths is that fear itself is not the enemy. Fear is a signal that we are standing at the edge of growth. Every great journey, whether across oceans or within the human heart, begins with uncertainty. Destiny does not remove fear. It asks us to move despite it. The Bermuda Triangle became a symbol of danger because humans focused only on what could go wrong, not on what could be learned. When fear controls direction, life becomes smaller. When courage leads, even unknown waters can reveal new truths. Many of the most disturbing stories about the Bermuda Triangle are not about storms or wreckage, but about silence. Ships were found drifting with no crew, food still warm, tools untouched, and clocks stopped as if time itself had paused. Logbooks ended mid-sentence. There were no signs of struggle, no damage, no clear reason for abandonment. These stories created a deep fear because humans can accept destruction, but they struggle to accept disappearance without explanation. This quiet vanishing became one of the strongest symbols of the Triangle's mystery. In modern life, something similar happens every day, but it is harder to see. People do not vanish from the world, but they vanish from themselves. Dreams that once felt alive slowly fade. Passion turns into routine. Motivation weakens, not because of one big failure, but because of many small compromises. Studies on burnout show that people often feel lost long before they realize it. They keep moving, working, and smiling, while inside they feel empty and disconnected. Like the empty ships, everything looks normal from the outside, but something essential is missing. One reason this happens is direction chosen by pressure instead of purpose. Many sailors followed trade routes because others said they were safe or profitable, even when instincts warned them. In the same way, people often choose careers, lifestyles, and goals based on family expectations, social approval, or fear of judgment. Over time, ignoring the inner voice creates distance from the self. Psychology explains that when personal values are ignored, stress and confusion increase. Destiny responds by slowly removing clarity, not as punishment, but as a signal that something is wrong. The lesson hidden in these disappearances is powerful. Destiny rarely takes everything at once. It first removes direction. It creates a sense of being lost so that reflection becomes unavoidable. Emptiness is not the end. It is an invitation to look inward. Just as sailors needed to stop and reassess when navigation failed, people need moments of confusion to realign with what truly matters. When purpose is restored, direction returns. The Bermuda Triangle stories remind us that being lost is not always a mistake. Sometimes it is the first step toward finding a truer path. One of the most unsettling details about the Bermuda Triangle is not the disappearances, but the failure of tools that humans trust the most. Sailors reported compasses spinning without reason, pointing nowhere and everywhere at once. Pilots spoke about navigation systems giving false readings, even when skies were clear. Science explains that this region has unusual magnetic behavior, where true north and magnetic north can shift. When these systems failed, people felt helpless because their sense of direction depended completely on machines and instruments. Human life follows a similar pattern. Many people build their lives using external guides, education, advice, plans, schedules, and social rules. These tools work well most of the time, but there are moments when they suddenly fail. A carefully planned career collapses. A relationship ends, despite effort and honesty. A goal that once felt certain loses meaning. When this happens, confusion takes over. People ask, "I did everything right, so why am I lost?" This moment feels frightening, just like being at sea without a compass. Psychology shows that when familiar systems stop working, the brain often reacts with panic. Panic pushes people to rush, force solutions, or cling to old methods that no longer fit. But destiny works differently. When outer guidance fails, it creates space for inner awareness. Silence appears not to punish, but to invite listening. Many sailors who survived strange waters spoke about moments of stillness, where fear eased and intuition sharpened. In life, the same rule applies. When noise fades, inner clarity can rise. The deeper lesson of broken compasses is about balance. Logic, planning, and advice are useful, but they are incomplete without self-awareness. Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand one's feelings and values, becomes crucial when logic reaches its limit. Destiny teaches through pause, not pressure. When direction is unclear, slowing down often reveals more than speeding up. Trust grows when we stop fighting uncertainty and start observing it. The Bermuda Triangle reminds us that true guidance does not always come from outside. Sometimes losing direction is the only way to discover a deeper sense of purpose that no instrument can measure. Another strange part of the Bermuda Triangle stories is the way time seems to behave differently. Some pilots reported that short flights felt much longer or much shorter than expected. Clocks showed the wrong time after passing through the area. In a few cases, planes landed safely but found that time on the ground did not match time in the air. Scientists suggest stress, confusion, and magnetic effects may change human perception. But for those who experienced it, the feeling was clear. Normal rules had broken. Time no longer felt steady or fair. Human life often brings similar moments. One phone call can change everything. One accident, one loss, one sudden success can divide life into before and after. Many people say that during these moments, time feels strange. Minutes feel like hours. Years seem to pass in a blink. Studies on the brain show that sudden change shocks the nervous system, forcing full attention. Comfort disappears, and awareness becomes sharp. Destiny often uses these moments to interrupt routines that no longer serve growth. People usually resist sudden change. They ask why it happened, who is to blame, and how to return to the past. But the past cannot be revisited, just as time cannot be controlled inside the triangle. Resistance increases pain, while acceptance reduces it. Those who survive deep change often say the same thing. They did not grow because life was easy, but because it was shaken. Comfort zones feel safe, but they can quietly trap potential. Destiny breaks these zones not to harm, but to awaken. The lesson hidden in bending time is about flexibility. Life does not move in straight lines. Plans are useful, but they are not guarantees. When change arrives, the strongest response is not force, but adjustment. Just as pilots had to remain calm and adapt to strange readings, people must learn to move with change instead of against it. Growth happens faster when we stop asking why and start asking what now. The Bermuda Triangle teaches that sudden change is not chaos without meaning. It is correction, guiding life back toward balance. When time feels unfair, destiny may be opening a door that routine kept closed. Many legends of the Bermuda Triangle speak of sea demons, shadow figures, and watchers that follow ships silently. Sailors described shapes moving under the water, eyes in the dark, and a deep feeling of being observed. These stories were passed down for generations, growing stronger each time they were told. While science explains some of these fears as stress, darkness, and isolation, the human mind often turns fear into form. When people cannot explain danger, they imagine it. These monsters became symbols of everything unknown and threatening in the deep sea. In human life, these sea demons exist in a different form. They appear as fear of failure, guilt from the past, regret over missed chances, and shame that hides quietly inside. Psychology shows that unresolved pain does not disappear. It waits. When ignored, it grows stronger, just like the imagined creatures of the ocean. Many people avoid silence because silence allows these inner fears to speak. Distraction feels safer than reflection. Noise feels better than truth. But avoidance does not heal. It only delays. Studies on emotional health show that facing fear reduces its power. When people confront painful memories or doubts, the brain slowly learns that fear is survivable. Sailors who face strange waters often said the terror was strongest before they accepted it. Once panic eased, clarity returned. In life, the same pattern appears. Fear feeds on resistance. The more we run, the larger it feels. Destiny places these inner demons on our path not to destroy us, but to transform us. The Watchers of the Triangle can be understood as reminders. They force attention inward. They ask questions we avoid. Who are you when no one is watching? What pain have you buried? What truth are you afraid to face? Growth begins when these questions are answered honestly. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to face it. When inner demons are confronted, they lose their shape. Fear turns into understanding. Pain turns into wisdom. The Bermuda Triangle myths teach that monsters are not enemies to escape, but messages to understand. Destiny does not demand perfection. It asks for honesty. When the shadow is faced, the path forward becomes clearer, calmer, and stronger. The legend of Atlantis is one of the most powerful stories connected to the Bermuda Triangle. Ancient writings describe Atlantis as a highly advanced civilization, rich in knowledge, technology, and power. Its people were said to understand nature, energy, and the mind better than any society before or after them. Yet the same stories say Atlantis disappeared in a single day and night, swallowed by the sea. The reason was not lack of intelligence, but loss of balance. Power grew faster than wisdom, and pride replaced respect for natural limits. When we look at the modern world, the parallel is clear. Technology grows at incredible speed. We can connect instantly, travel faster than ever, and store endless information. Yet studies show rising stress, loneliness, and mental health struggles across the world. People know more, but feel less. Progress moves forward, but meaning falls behind. Just like Atlantis, humanity is powerful, but often disconnected from balance, nature, and inner peace. Destiny has shown many times in history that when growth loses direction, correction follows. Historians point out that many great civilizations collapsed not because of enemies, but because of internal imbalance. Ego replaced humility. Control replaced harmony. Speed replaced care. Atlantis became a warning story, passed through generations, reminding humans that intelligence without wisdom can destroy what it builds. Destiny does not punish growth, it corrects excess. When balance is lost, systems break, whether they are cities, societies, or individual lives. On a personal level, Atlantis lives inside each of us. Many people chase success, money, or status while ignoring health, relationships, and inner values. At first, progress feels exciting, but over time, exhaustion, emptiness, and confusion appear. This is destiny asking for balance. Rest, reflection, and humility become necessary, not optional. Loss often arrives not to harm, but to slow us down before deeper damage occurs. The lesson of Atlantis is gentle, but firm. Growth must include wisdom. Power must include compassion. Progress must include purpose. When life takes something away, it may be restoring balance rather than creating suffering. The Bermuda Triangle myths keep Atlantis alive because humanity still needs this reminder. Destiny does not destroy without reason. It reshapes, resets, and restores. When balance is honored, what is built can last. When it is ignored, even the greatest achievements can sink quietly beneath the surface. For centuries, people have asked whether the Bermuda Triangle is ruled by angry gods or dark forces beyond human control. Ancient cultures often explained the unknown through gods, spirits, and divine punishment. When ships vanished, it felt easier to believe that powerful beings were protecting secrets or enforcing limits. But when we look deeper, these stories point towards something calmer and wiser. They suggest not wrath, but law, not anger, but order. Nature follows rules, even when humans do not understand them, and destiny works in the same quiet way. Many scientists now believe the strange events of the triangle come from natural forces like shifting magnetic fields, sudden weather changes, and human error under stress. Yet even science agrees on one thing: humans are not in full control. The ocean reminds us of limits. In life, the same lesson appears again and again. No matter how careful we are, delays happen. Plans fall apart. Silence replaces answers. These moments feel unfair, but they often arrive to protect us from paths that would harm us in the long run. Destiny speaks softly. It does not shout. It uses signs like confusion, delay, and discomfort. When life slows you down, it may be saving you from rushing into something wrong. When a door closes, it may be guiding you away from danger you cannot yet see. Many people later realize that the moments they once hated were the moments that saved them. What felt like being lost was actually being redirected. Motivation grows when we stop fighting these moments and start listening. Trust does not mean giving up effort. It means releasing the need to control everything. Courage is moving forward even when answers are incomplete. The Bermuda Triangle teaches that some knowledge is earned through patience, not force. Some paths open only when respect replaces fear. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. If your life feels confusing right now, it does not mean you are failing. It may mean you are standing at a turning point. Destiny shapes quietly, not cruelly. When you learn to trust the pause, the silence, and the unknown, fear slowly loses power. Just as the ocean follows its laws without anger, your life is guided by forces meant to protect growth, not destroy it. Walk forward with awareness, and the path will reveal itself step by step. The Bermuda Triangle has fascinated humans for centuries, not just because of ships and planes that disappeared, but because it reflects so much about life and destiny. The stories of lost vessels, broken compasses, strange time shifts, sea demons, and the lost city of Atlantis are more than legends. They are mirrors of our fears, challenges, and the moments when life feels uncertain or unfair. Just as sailors had to navigate without clear signs, people face periods in life where guidance is missing, plans fail, or the world feels confusing. These moments can feel frightening, but they carry lessons if we are willing to pay attention. Life often removes direction, slows us down, or changes our path unexpectedly, not to punish us, but to guide us. When we feel lost, empty, or unsure, it is an opportunity to look inward. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to move forward despite it. Silence, confusion, and pauses are not obstacles. They are signals from destiny asking us to trust ourselves and to grow. Every fear we face, every setback, and every moment of uncertainty can teach us strength, patience, and awareness. The myths of the Bermuda Triangle remind us that the unknown is not always dangerous. Sometimes it is necessary, a doorway to clarity, wisdom, and deeper understanding. Just as ancient stories warned of balance in Atlantis, modern life reminds us to balance progress with care, ambition with values, and power with compassion. Challenges are lessons in disguise, and losses are often redirections toward better paths. Fear, failure, and the unknown are part of life's way of shaping us into stronger, wiser, and more aware people. The Bermuda Triangle teaches that destiny works quietly, sometimes hidden, sometimes mysterious, but always with purpose. When we learn to trust the journey, embrace uncertainty, and face challenges with courage, we discover that even the most confusing or frightening paths can lead to growth, success, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us.